Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad
Hello.
people. Welcome to our show. Hello, guys. Welcome. I don't care good, bad. I only care about value that you can get from this podcast. And it's very important today to learn more about writing, how you can cooperate with great writers, because it's not like to ask ChatGPT or any other AI tool to get quality. You need to have this human touch. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Gordana Sretenovic. How are you?
Good, good. That was actually very good pronunciation of my name. Thank you. People
Oh,
usually don't get it right, so thank you.
it's hard. I can
It
practice
is,
100
yeah.
times and fail 100 times.
Uh, Serbian names, they're not the easiest, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Gordan, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, because I have new listeners who might not know
Yeah,
you, but previous listeners know you well because you share a lot of valuable insights, these valuable
thank
bombs.
you.
You lead me to an emergency room. I usually spend time to think how I can adapt all your insights. So today, looking forward to visit this room one more time, to get new bombs. So yeah, remind
Yeah,
about
let's
your
do it.
background.
Thank you so much. I actually realized I'm wearing the same shirt I wore the first time you did
Ah,
this, so I guess it's like a good full circle moment. My name is Gordana. I'm a co-founder of a startup called Workello, which is it was previously a writer hiring and testing platform, but now we expanded to all other roles. Basically, any role that you can hire, you should probably test because, as we know, pre-hire tests correlate better with post-hire performance than anything else you can have, including interviews, CVs, previous experience, et cetera, et cetera. So the best thing you can do for yourself when you're hiring someone new, especially writers, content teams, editors, is to send them assessments. And that's pretty much what we do. And prior to Workello, I used to run a big content marketing agency called Content Distribution. It's still live, it's still going strong. I'm just not a part of that anymore. I'm 100% on Workello and helping you guys hire amazing content teams, basically.
awesome, awesome. Love it, love it. I wanna ask about finding the writer for 7 days. I
Let's
usually
do it.
spend a lot more. I spend a lot more. It takes time to find great writers. I can hire ChatGPT for a few seconds, but
Yeah,
I can't get great content. And I think
true.
ChatGPT is replacing mediocre writers, medium level writers, but this tool is not ready to change great
I
writers.
agree.
And what I found, it's important to have experience in specific niche. For example, if you ask me to create any text about accounting, about weight loss, I can't by using
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
exactly.
I get generic content. I'm not sure about the quality. I can't estimate the quality. But if I'm creating any text about SEO, digital marketing, I can, to create this quality because
Yeah,
I have experience with that. Can you tell how to do it for 7 days? Because
yeah.
for me, it takes like a few months, to find great writers.
Yeah, it's crazy. It does take a lot of time, but the good thing about it is, as the industry is changing, so is everything else, including that includes our industry. So back in the day, you had to probably go and post your job ads on multiple websites, maybe use Upwork or some other platform like that, and then spend a lot of time if you want to test people, spend a lot of time creating Google Docs, going back and forth with emails, and that just takes forever always. And that's why it takes people 3, 4, 5 weeks, even 2 to 3 months to hire a good writer. But with automations, everything is much, much easier.
Mhm.
And this is going to sound maybe a little bit like a Workello ad. I promise it's not. But basically, we've automated this whole process. So it's one click everything. You get your applicants from anywhere you want to hire them. So you are in full control there, which is something that I personally prefer because I like to hire writers in my native country in Serbia, Eastern
Mhm.
Europe in general. So I'm in full control where I post my job ads. That's like the easiest part, but the hard part comes with the testing. So whether you use Workella, which I do recommend, or another solution, it's not as good as mine, but just make sure to automate the process. So the way we do it is, you just click to send a test to someone, and people generally need jobs in this job market. It's actually insane. It's not what it was a couple of years ago when you could like pick and choose what you want to do. Um, Generally, people return their tests really, really fast, and it's all a numbers game. So you want to make sure to test as many writers as you can so you can actually find that one who is going to be a rockstar writer. And just by automating the whole process, it can all happen in a week. Now, if you're looking for niche writers, just scratch what I said about posting in Serbia. Don't listen to that. Instead, go to communities. If you need someone to write about plumbing, go to plumber communities on Facebook, on Reddit, all the other places where plumbers hang out. I actually have no idea where, but I'm sure you have some idea if you are a plumber. And find people there and then just reuse the entire process. Get as many candidates as you can, test the ones that you think have potential, and within a week, you may have your writer. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's how
Yeah,
you do it.
interesting.
Very short version.
Yeah, I have a bunch of questions, but I wanna ask one question. It's important for me. I wanna know your resource of energy. You're always energetic. I see this smiling. I love it, and I
Oh,
think
thank you.
it's important to have this fun. You
It
know,
is.
it helps to increase productivity. So tell your resources how you stay
It's
energetic when you need to do a lot of things every single day.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. If you're a founder or if you run any type of business, you know that your day just never ends. And that's just something that everyone knows that. It's very hard, I'm not gonna lie. But it really helps when you can travel and be in beautiful places like this. I'm in Greece right now, so
Mhm.
just looking at the world around me, it's wonderful. I love the sea, so it's kind of like I'm so grateful that I can do a job that allows me to do it from anywhere in the world. And if I can do it from anywhere, why not do it from beautiful Greek island? Um, which also used to sound very unattainable to me when a few years ago when I was a freelancer. It sounded impossible, but um, apparently it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice, nice. Love it, love it. Uh, let's talk about searching writers globally. You mentioned that
Mhm.
you like to find writers in Serbia. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you can find great writers in Serbia, in Ukraine, in any other country. But
yeah.
I often see when companies limit searching by specific country. For example, in the US, when I cooperate with clients, they usually cooperate with
Mhm.
American writers. But I can find great writers in India, in Ukraine, in Nigeria, in Canada, in Australia. I cooperate with them, and I usually check if people can post on Forbes, Investopedia, great resources. Why I I need to limit my possibilities to cooperate with great writers. So,
Exactly.
can you tell why it's important to go globally to find these people? Because we have expats, we have people who immigrate to countries where they want to live to enjoy their lives. So, tell more
Exactly.
about that.
Yeah, so I suppose one of the reasons why companies limit their hiring to US only is probably because of legal reasons, although I'm struggling to figure out what they are. The second thing is I think people just are not sure how to manage remote teams, which is fine. This whole remote work is relatively new to most companies. Everyone was in office for the longest time. So just putting your trust in someone who lives in a different country. I understand how that can be difficult if you are not used to, living in like a very multicultural, I guess,
Mhm.
community. But one thing that I found from many years, working in an agency as someone who hires writers, but also someone who was hired as a writer, is that honestly, unless you're producing highly cultural content, meaning local events or things like that, there's really no difference to me between native or American and non-native writers. Anyone can write about marketing, anyone can write about gardening, anyone can write about, I don't know, rental properties in Greece. You don't have to be Greek to do it. It would probably help because you know some tips and tricks and hacks, but it's not necessary. So, as you said, you found amazing writers all over the world, and that is fantastic. And I generally think that the world is going to continue to go that way, especially for small businesses, because as a small business it's very expensive to hire someone who, for example, lives in, I don't know, San Francisco or New York. God knows how
Mhm.
much they have to make in a year to just be living comfortably, I guess, or
Yeah.
surviving. So, as a small business, you probably don't have the budget for that type of person. So, why wouldn't you hire someone who lives in a lower cost of living country who's going to do the exact same job, exact same quality, uh, but actually pay them, very well and keep them happy? And, obviously, they're going to be um, loyal to you because you pay them on time, you pay them well. Like, who wants to leave a client who pays them on time and pays them well, instead of underpaying someone in the US, um,
Yeah.
especially for writing gigs. Probably some jobs, I'm not sure what they would be, but probably something that has to do with legal stuff. I don't know, I wouldn't hire someone from a different country because every legal system is different, and you know all the law schools are different, but content, marketing, anyone can do that, and it doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
how Ukraine is like a safe haven for like developers. It's very famous for all the devs there. I think the same for my part of Eastern Europe. It's going to be exactly that famous for writers and just content people, marketers in general.
yeah.
So I mean, I like it.
I don't think so. It's a legal reason because I can explain why. You
Yeah.
can pay to all countries, but it's it's more about the average data. If we take the average data, you can find better writers. I mean, like in the average in the US, who know mentality, culture, but and if you search them in other countries, in the average, quality is less. So it's like to save time, to search for great writers. So I
Yeah,
only
makes sense. But yeah, but honestly, my experience wasn't really that. I mean, obviously, I'm just one person, just one agency. But I do have other examples. I worked with some native speakers from the US, and I mean, I couldn't tell the difference between their
yeah.
content and content from my writers from outside. Again, if it's not something very cultural that requires you to be a member of that society that
Mhm.
is of that culture, I mean, who
Yeah.
cares where you're from? You're not writing about local events. You're writing about global things that are true anywhere you go in the world. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm a huge fan of just this remote thing, and I mean, I work for an American company. I am an American company now. I've never been to America, um, so isn't that great? I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like I like how you highlight this word surviving. If you write in New York or I don't know, LA, yeah, you can survive. But
yeah,
if you're a great writer, it doesn't matter. I think Stephen King can live
exactly,
everywhere, so it depends. So if you can
exactly.
write great text, it doesn't matter where you can live. And writing is a great place to earn good money. It doesn't matter. You can live in India and earn real good money, but
Yeah,
just write
exactly.
great text. So, and
Yeah,
I, I cooperate with writers in Nigeria, and they post content on Forbes. Uh, okay, they
yeah,
outside US, but spend all time to learn about American culture, about
yeah,
investing, trading, and it doesn't matter. They learn about American
exactly.
culture, and yeah, they can create
Yeah,
great text.
and it's
So
and it's kind of global now. We are all surrounded with just American culture in general. I mean, I grew up watching American TV. I kind of
mhm.
have this
Yeah.
kind of Americanish accent because of that. I mean, it's honestly just because of media. So we're all kind of all connected. I guess it's the globalization. I don't know what to call it, but anyway, if you are, still iffy, like, should I do it? Should I not do it? You don't have to hire a foreigner. You can hire an expat that lives somewhere else. There are people in any country in the world. There are just Americans living there and just chilling on the beach somewhere in Thailand. If you really need a native speaker writer, hire an expat, and
Yeah,
that's how you solve all the cultural issues, because culturally they're still Americans, but you know you don't have to, I guess, go bankrupt. I don't know.
yeah, got
It's
it. I have a few friends in UK, and they shared that their kids speak with American pronunciation because of YouTube.
yeah,
They watch YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
and
It's
can,
YouTube. Yeah, it's
so
YouTube. It's all the sitcoms and everything. You can't escape it. I mean, even
yeah,
the Beatles sang with an American accent. So there you go.
yeah,
If
nice.
Paul McCartney can do it, so can they.
Yeah, I wanna ask more about testing. You mentioned in the first part about testing. I think it's very important to
Hmm.
find great writers, because when I submit any request, I get like 100 replies, and all of
Yeah,
them can tell I'm great. Even to share portfolio, I can check portfolio, looks great, but when you give the task, it's not the same, and it's hard today to check, to test, because even by using ChatGPT, you need to recognize its quality or not quality, because I think writing is more related today to research, to know the topic, when
yeah,
you can collect data, combine all this data and create great text, even by using AI, because I personally use a lot AI to edit my text, but I can't rely to AI to collect data. So
exactly. Yeah.
tell about your methods of testing, how to recognize that writers are great.
Yeah, so we use a very, I would say, simple method. We have kind of a two-step process. The first step is just a regular short writing test, and we ask them to write between 200 and 400 words, depending on the topic, on a certain, keyword that we give them. We also give them a few more instructions, like put a couple of these internal links, put one external link in, just so we can see how they work with anchor text and things like that, just more technical things. But generally, the only thing we care about in the initial test is to see whether the person can structure their article. It's not an article, it's 300 words, but if they can structure it well and kind of coherently. We check their language knowledge, obviously. We check if they use AI or not, because we don't want people to use AI, and we check if they know how to do research, because we have everyone do the same test. I really have to stress that you want everyone to do the same test, same 200, 300, 400 words, no matter how much, so you can compare them apples to apples, right? So you don't compare two different texts to one another. And since the test article that we give them is already something that we have written before, it's not live, so no one can find it and kind of copy paste it, but it's something that an amazing writer of ours has written before. I know exactly how they did their research. I know what sources they use. I know everything. And it's very easy for me to compare the writing test, the initial writing test, with the sample that we have. And after that first writing test, if they pass, which most people honestly don't, either because they use AI or because grammar is like really not that great, or most commonly because I can tell that they didn't do research, we move on to the second part of the testing process, which is a longer article. That's a paid test. Obviously, we don't send paid tests to everyone because we would go bankrupt in 5 minutes.
Mhm,
you know, very well that you get 1,000 candidates per job post, and it's just impossible.
mhm,
So that's why we do this initial one to kind of clear out, I guess, candidates that are not as great. Then we send them a second test, which is a full article with a full brief and full instructions on what to do. And this is only for people that we are very, very keen on hiring, but we just want to see what their first drafts look like. And that's it. That's the entire process. Now, Recently, I've only been kind of interested in hiring senior writers, which is why we have this two-step process. But if you're just looking for a regular writer, you don't really care about like the technical things, I guess. You can get away with just one testing stage. It's completely fine. I've done it before, but it's really important to have everyone do the same text for their test so that you can be fair when you're actually comparing them one to another. And
Mhm.
that's it. After that, we have the interview, which is very quick, maybe 10, 15 minutes just to get to know each other. And if they're a nice person, they're hired. And yeah, they start creating
Oh,
content.
you check personality as well. I got it.
Yeah. I mean, you want to work with nice people. You don't want to work
Yeah,
with
of
someone
course.
who's mean.
100%. I even can't
Yeah.
cooperate with clients who are angry. I don't know, have these emotions. I can't.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can leave this money, forget about them. It's
Exactly. It's just not necessary. It's no one wants that stress. I mean,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
you
yeah.
mentioned about you don't want copywriters to use AI. You know, I cooperate with great writers. We help our clients in investing, trading niche. It's very
Mhm.
competitive.
Yeah.
You know, it costs a lot of money to get the top 10 results, to get this organic reach.
Yeah.
Um, and our writers usually post a lot content in other publications like Forbes,
Hmm.
Bloomberg, Investopedia, and all of them, without any exception, use AI. All of them use AI. I'm not against AI because I use AI myself. As I
Yeah.
mentioned, I collect data, write my bad copy, terrible copy, then I edit with ChatGPT, and we get great results. Today we have these AI detectors that can help analyze
Yeah.
it's AI written or not. But what I found, um, even if you collect data yourself, write great copy and edit with AI detector can tell it's AI written,
Yeah.
but it ranks well. I'm not sure if Google cares a lot about that, if it's unique quality and it's AI written or not. We just edit. So, can you explain more? If you're against,
Yeah.
why?
So, I mean, I'm not against AI in general. I use it all the time. It's a
Hmm.
great thing. I love it. It just cuts down on a bunch of boring things that I don't want to do. But that is not what we sell to our clients, to our agency clients. We sell them well-researched, human-written articles that are honestly impossible to write with AI.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know how familiar you guys are, but our, organization, we thrive on SOPs. We talk about them all the time. We're like kind of boring ourselves at this point with them, but we have so many SOPs. We have so many rules that our content team needs to follow that it's just not viable for any AI to follow all of them. Our briefs are extensive, very extensive, and they make the writer's job easier, but AI kind of gets confused,
Hmm.
honestly,
Yeah.
with our briefs. And we collect so much information from our clients, from our agency clients, that it's just not publicly available information. And we all know, ChatGPT works with just publicly available stuff that's been available for a long time. But if our client is disrupting the market with something new or just a new approach that wasn't done before, AI just doesn't have that information. So that's why we don't allow it and we don't use it for our client content. But I use it all the time for all the different things. Like I don't like to format my SOPs. It's the most boring thing in the world. So I just dump, like you said, my very bad copy. I'm a horrible copywriter. Like I'm a good writer, but my copy is so bad. So I just put it all in ChatGPT and say, "Can you please format this for me?" And it
Yeah.
does it. But if I'm selling something for a lot of money, I definitely want to control every single variable. And I just don't think that any AI tool is there yet. For some types of content, sure, go crazy. But if you're working with some niches that can cause people to lose a lot of money,
Hmm.
I would rather hold everything in my hands and not rely on any tool on this earth. So that's the reason why. But I'm generally not against it. I just don't like it when people use it kind of irresponsibly and they don't know how to prompt very well, so they end up with a bad looking article. And then, you try to submit that to me, and I'm like, come on, like you could at least try it
Yeah.
a little bit more. So it was just best for us to say no AI. It's easiest that way. But who knows? Maybe in the future we, do something with it. I don't know. I really want to try a fully AI site.
Mhm.
I'm kind of preparing that. So stay tuned next year for results.
Yeah, yeah. Today it's not golden button. It's not like to click and get
Yeah,
everything. And
yeah,
once my brothers asked me to write the text about accounting, I failed. I couldn't do it. I tried, but
yeah,
it's not my niche. I don't know how to check the
exactly.
quality. So AI,
Exactly. You don't even know if it's true. Like,
yeah.
how do I know what to check if I have no idea what I'm talking about? So, um, yeah.
I think experts can become great prompt experts with
True.
AI.
I agree.
So yeah, and editors as well. So and what do you think about the future? I mean, like, okay, we have AI. It's only beginning of the journey, and I want to
Mhm.
ask about even not about the future of AI because it's growing. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that.
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, many things will change, but I want to ask about the future of blog content because I remember
Mhm,
when I started our digital journey, we ignore blog content because that was simple to game the system. Google ranked our
mhm.
e-commerce content with other um, user
Yeah,
intent. Today we can't. Google can recognize content, and it's better to create blog content, and this content
yeah.
gets more traffic compared to other formats. I don't remember exactly the number, like plus 50%, 56%
Oh, that's
are
pretty nice.
coming to blog content. But
Yeah,
what we can see today, chatbots can reply to the questions. Google is decreasing number of clicks because of feature snippets, other elements, and I don't know what kind of future will be to write articles. Today, yes, it's working, it's great. But what do you think about the future? Can we, if AI can steal our content, if Google can
yeah.
decrease the number of clicks to show more feature snippets, what kind of future will be today?
So that's such a good question. And I am going to reference a video that I watched the other day. It had something to do with how a computer can never generate a truly random number. So even if you have like a supercomputer, there is a way, excuse me, there is a way to predict what kind of random number it will generate because it just doesn't have the capability. So the way people generate random numbers is by either putting something on a tree and depending on how it swings in the wind, blah 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 blah. So you know, it's scary what's happening with AI with Google. I'm like, oh, zero click searches and things like that. But I don't think that any computer can have infinite knowledge, and it can't have a personal experience. And if you think about it, mostly like the most valuable blog posts are the ones that come from experts or that come from personal experiences. I don't want to read about anything really from some random guy who wrote it just because he was bored and like I'm gonna write an article about I don't know how to grow this flower, for example. I want to read it from an expert. Same with the personal experience. If something is happening to me, I want to hear from other people how they went through the situation, how they solved the problem. That is something that AI can never give me, and it can't give that to any human on this planet. So, um, I don't think blog content is going anywhere, honestly. It's in no one's best interest for it to go away because if you want to continue developing AI, you need to feed it more data. And how do you get more data, at least in this world that we are in, this marketing world, than with blog posts? But people are not going to create blog posts if they are being punished for it. So you still have to give people some incentive to keep doing it. And with the most recent update, I see a lot of people complaining like, oh, I had my website for 12 years and now it's all gone. It's gone because you don't care about your user. You just care about yourself. And you just wrote that because you want to put your affiliate links in your blog post. But you never thought about your users' experience, what they are feeling coming to your blog, and just seeing a bunch of random stuff, right? So again, um, it all ties back. In order to keep developing the technology, we have to keep developing us and what we know. And the only way humans have done that for millions of years is with words and with stories. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And in the future, who knows? We may be in some kind of alien dystopia and we don't even care about Google. Don't know about that, but yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Same with YouTube and TikTok content. I don't want to watch AI tell me things. I want to watch you tell me about
yeah.
SEO or marketing or investing, because I would trust you more than some avatar that could tell me true things. But I don't know, like, where did they get it from, right?
I think it takes time to change habits. It's not like to
Exactly. Yeah.
replace with new technologies, because most people need time to change these habits.
Yeah.
But about youngsters, for example, I asked my son to search on Google, and what he did, he searched on TikTok.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, he
Oh, that
he
is so
he
cute.
yeah, he doesn't need Google. He needs TikTok, to
Yeah.
find misinformation. So yeah, I
But
think
that's also interesting because TikTok content is mostly generated by other people
mhm,
who probably went to Google and Googled something and then just turned on their camera and say, "Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about this, this, and this."
yeah.
So it's like a full loop of search engines happening right now.
Yeah, I love your thoughts, and I think whatever happens, we need to adapt, and it's part of
Exactly. Yeah.
our job, because if Google will
Exactly.
decrease all clicks, so we adapt to new channels. That's okay. If
Exactly.
AI will steal all traffic, I mean, like Forbes, CNN, they don't care a lot about SEO traffic. They have loyal
Yeah, because
audience.
they have
So
big brands. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's time to build these brands, to write text not only for Google,
Exactly.
for users.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's why when you're hiring and when you're building your content team, it's a really good experiment to think about, uh, you know, is this something that I can write with AI? And do I really need this person? Which is what you said in the beginning. I really think that mediocre and bad writers are going to be replaced with AI because at least with AI, it's going to be grammatically correct. So it's time for everyone to start up leveling their skills, us as marketers, but also writers as writers. It's not just enough
yeah,
to speak a little bit of English and get a job because no one needs that anymore. They have
and
ChatGPT.
yeah,
Yeah.
and even more. I think gray writers can get much better results by using AI than
Exactly.
mediocre
Yeah. That
writers.
too. That
So
too, because they think, they know how to do research. There's this thing like people making fun of people for going to university, to college. Like
yeah,
only idiots go to school. I don't think that's true. Obviously, I'm not doing what I studied to do, but you learn how to do research. You learn how to figure things out, where to look. And if you know how to do that, you're going to be a great prompter.
yeah.
if, if you have to be at some point. So,
Yeah,
yeah, but
even to write these prompts, to edit the results, and
yeah.
for example, I usually speak with ChatGPT even more than with my wife, and I I I can ask a bunch of questions in one chat. When I can get results, I can quit, open new chat,
Yeah.
ask and start from the beginning. So yeah, it takes time, but I can't do it in another niche. I can do in my niche because I
Yeah,
understand. So
exactly. Yeah,
it's important to have skills. It's important to know how to write, because you can't estimate the quality. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I want to ask about mistakes. I asked before this question, but I still get requests about mistakes that we can avoid. So, can you list mistakes that companies still do in your experience, especially when we have AI, and how to avoid them to find a better way?
You mean when hiring or just generally when publishing content?
I think almost everything, like in writing,
Mhm.
creating content,
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, just common mistakes.
Yeah. So I think one of the greatest mistakes that companies make, no matter the size, that's funnily enough, is leadership teams thinking that they don't need to have content teams to work on their blogs, either because they don't trust someone to do it as well as they can do it, or just because they don't think it's important enough to have really good content. That's a huge mistake because as a business owner, you need to go out, you need to make money. You don't have time to sit around and write blog posts because it's not just once a month that you do this, it's not just once a quarter. You have to be consistently publishing if you want to be considered any type of authority. And you may be an authority, with your expertise and everything, but no one knows that. So that's kind of my number one tip. Just don't do it yourself. Hire people to do it. Supplement them with enough documentation that even though they may not be at your level in terms of expertise, they can consume the documentation that you give them, and they can learn just like how you learned. So that's number one. Number two is using purely AI, unedited AI. Everyone can tell it's AI. It's so obvious. There are so many tells that ChatGPT has, so many phrases that it keeps repeating over and over again that when I see them, I just X out of the article immediately because I don't want to read that. I know it's going to be the same as 90% of other AI generated articles. If you are using AI, I highly recommend hiring a really good editor who can make it sound more human. Just do it. I don't care if you publish with AI, just get an editor, get an editor to do it. And the third thing, I think, the third big mistake is, um, unfortunately, again, with business owners not realizing that when they say they want, huge, massive SEO traffic, and they think they can get it for pennies, you can't. You need to invest, unfortunately, money, or you need to invest your time. It's either one of those things, but time is also money. So if you want good SEO results, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to spend money to make money. It's just the way it works. It's the same with any type of marketing that you do.
Yeah,
You
awesome,
just gotta do it.
awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. And in marketing, it's important to test. And I tested on
Yeah.
this podcast episode. I wrote the text description with short sentences. And right now, I don't know. I'm confusing because I have audience, and usually during the podcast, people are leaving. But
Uh-huh.
they are not leaving, and I don't know. It's because of the
Yay!
text or because of you. So yeah,
Yay!
it's a new headache. I need to think. probably,
Nice.
probably both mix.
Well, I love everyone that's here. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay, guys, let me know. Just send me the message. Yeah, because of
Yeah,
Gordana,
what's the
because of
reason?
text, or yeah, there is. I need to know. Yeah, but I like your positive mindset, and
Yeah.
yeah. Right now, I want to ask about your experience. Yeah, I asked this question before, but it's very important to know how to start from scratch because I usually get
Mhm.
great results with customers who understand what I do. And I found
Yeah.
when people don't know, it's hard to get results. Uh, for
Yeah.
example, if you want to lose weight and you can find the best nutrition, the best coach, you can't without understanding why you need to eat healthy food, to train, to drink water. It's the same with marketing. Yeah, you need to understand how
Yeah.
marketing works, how to write text. And I know you don't use link building. Wow, to have million
Yeah.
traffic without link building, impressive. Love it, awesome. So tell if someone needs to get the basic, what to do today if we have AI.
Yeah. So if you're starting from scratch, let's say you have a business, any type of business, and you want to grow massive organic traffic. The first thing I would do is just even before you publish a single word, go on Facebook, go on LinkedIn, go on Instagram, TikTok, wherever your audience is, and start posting there. Start building your brand there. And don't stop doing that forever. Just keep building your brand because that's going to help massively with everything that you do. The second thing, either ask someone, or look for advice online on how to get started with SEO. It's usually There are a lot of courses out there. I don't recommend any of the courses. Some of them are probably amazing, but I'm, not 100% sure exactly what is suitable for what person. So I'm not going to recommend anything, but there are a lot of courses out there. There are a lot of people out there on LinkedIn, on Facebook, who talk about SEO and how to do it. And just start learning from them, join the communities, start asking questions, be curious, and start with one writer. You don't have to have a huge team all from the get-go to get good results. When we started working with the client that we got to 1.5 million, they were, I don't know, they had some very, very low traffic. We worked with freelance writers, and we were publishing maybe 10 articles, or 10 or 15 articles a month for the first couple months. So you really don't have to go huge. You don't have to scale immediately. You can go slow. You can, learn things. Or if you have the budget, just hire an agency to do
Yeah.
it, which is probably the easiest thing, because then you don't have to do anything. You can focus on actually making money and building the business, and just getting more customers, more clients. So, but if that's not the option, there are a lot of services out there. We even offer those guided kind of services for someone who's new, to just spend, I don't know, 6 months with you to build a whole system so that it can run on its own. So there are options, definitely. You just gotta, you just gotta start with a Google search or a TikTok search,
Yeah.
wherever you are.
Nice. Valuable tips. One more solution, guys. If you wanna improve your writing, you need to follow Gordana on social media to keep
Do
learning,
it.
because you can see a lot of valuable insights. So
Thank
I
you.
I I follow. I recommend to anyone to follow too, because you can keep learning,
Thank
to
you.
improve, to update what you have. Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Yeah, well, like you said, LinkedIn is a good place. I know I have a weird last name, but I can maybe rebrand, like share, kind of just Gordana. I don't know. LinkedIn is a great place. I post there almost every day. We also do have a community on Facebook. It's called Fat Graph Content Ops. It's a pretty good group, around 10,000 marketers, SEOs, founders. So everyone is kind of helping each other over there. Our YouTube channel. Content distribution. You can find us there. And I just recently started posting on TikTok. So that's so
Oh.
new, but it's also content distribution. So find us there as well. And yeah, just reach out, send me a message. I would love to chat with everyone. And if anyone needs any help, I would love to help you guys. I reached out to people at the beginning of my career as well, and people helped me. So I definitely want to give it back. So yeah, let's be friends.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I follow you on LinkedIn. I don't follow on TikTok.
Same.
Yeah, because
Oh, TikTok is like so new. We just started posting a
ah,
couple of videos, but
another
it's so easy to grow.
yeah. But it's another reason. TikTok learned my mind. I don't know how, but TikTok knows what content I
It
can't
knows
stop
everything.
watching.
Yeah,
So,
I
and
love it.
yeah,
I love
I don't know
I
how
don't
to
even
fight.
care about the data. I don't know how it does. It has the best algorithm I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, congrats to those guys. They did a really good job. I'm never going to delete that. It's the
Yeah,
best.
and I removed for a while because I need to focus what I need
Yeah,
to do. So yeah, I'll get back. I'll get back, and we'll try another way. I don't know how to fight with the
yeah.
social media, but what I like on TikTok,
LinkedIn. Yeah,
yeah, you don't need to promote anything on LinkedIn. You need on Facebook. You need, but on TikTok, just create content. And it's called
exactly. That's my
yeah,
favorite part, and you will naturally find your audience because the algorithm is just so good. I found crazy good advice, like marketers, SEOs, people like that. You have no idea what I found on TikTok. It's amazing. I'm
yeah,
promoting TikTok way too hard, but it's
awesome.
it's such a good platform. I love it.
Yeah, nice, nice. Gordana, it's a big pleasure. Thank you so much for
Th-
sharing your
Thank
time,
you.
all these valuable insights. Yeah, I'm going to an emergency room one more time, to think how to adapt, to how to find great writers for 7 days. Guys, I recommend to anyone to follow Gordana on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on you can find all these social media accounts in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and see you next time.